Hey, greetings, everybody. Welcome. This is the One True Divine Feminine and Psychic Investigations Tarot. Thrilled to have you here. And yes, I am the person that solved my own crime using tarot cards and astrology. And I want to just start today. I have a message I want to share with some of my atheist friends. This is my card of healing waters because I heard that there's some atheists that are upset with me. And all I want to say is don't be mad, be glad, right? I only have two rules that I follow when it comes to belief systems. One is you don't hurt anybody with your belief system. And two, you don't force your stuff on anybody else, right? One of my very best friends that I used to work with and hike with and camp with was an atheist. And even though I had very different beliefs, we got along great. We're all on a different path. We're all on a different journey. We're all exactly where we're meant to be. And there is a reason for everything, right? And just because we have different beliefs doesn't mean that, we can't get along. So here's my card for healing waters, right? I'm as open minded as it gets, right? So long as you obey those two rules. Now, if you break those, then we got a real problem. But otherwise, I'm a very open minded person. And whatever works for each one of us, I'm good with it, right? That's one of the reasons we're so blessed in this country, is because we have the ability to find our own path, right? To find our own path. And in fact, throughout my travels around the world with a backpack, not privileged lady kind of traveling, but sleeping on straw mattresses and taking cold showers and stuff like that, I have had the occasion to see many different belief systems in action, and I find them all very fascinating. And usually I can learn something from everything that I encounter, right? And just because something doesn't make sense to me or work for me doesn't mean that it doesn't work for you. So I honor that. So don't be mad, be glad. I'll give you an example. When I was traveling in, it was Guatemala, and I was near Panajachel. There was a small village where they had a deity who was a coconut man. He had a coconut face, he had sunglasses, and many ties on, neckties. And people went into the hut where he was to leave offerings and to pray to him. And, to me, that was very foreign, didn't make any sense to me. But what I gathered from watching them was it made sense to them, and it gave them meaning and purpose and happiness in their lives, right? And so, because I'm an open minded person, I'm like, if it works for you, it's okay, right? I also traveled up a mountainside in another Guatemalan village, and I actually was there when a shaman showed up with his family to visit a stone idol that they had planted at the top of the mountain. And he then went about making all kinds of various sacrifices to this god. For him, it was a god, right? There were like 7 things. I can't remember all of them, but a chicken was one, eggs, copal, which is a gummy substance like, some kind of incense thing. Rum was another one. And if I weren't more culturally unaware, I could be a millionaire by now. Why? Because the last thing that he offered up to this deity was Coca-Cola. And I had my camera and I could have taken the shot, but it seemed culturally insensitive. And, so therefore I just observed. But I've seen different religions from all over the world, different philosophies, different ways of life. And so long as people are happy with the path they're on, I'm happy for them. I only get ornery when you hurt people and you try to force your stuff on folks. And that is why I do believe we should have a separation between church and state, because we are a multifaceted country with many belief systems, right? So if I say something here like yoga and it's, joining your soul with God, well, that works for me, right? But I get it that it doesn't work for you. So substitute something that works for you, right? So I'm a nature gal, and I often try to draw on the energy of the wild and beautiful places that I've lived in. So, if you want to yoke your spirit to something, draw on the amazing energy of the mountains, right? Draw on the photosynthetic power of the sun. Draw on the great emotional depths of the abyss. Whatever it is that works for you. When I was healing from cancer, my first near death experience, this last little episode was the second one. Um, I would walk in the foothills and in the springtime in the Sierras, and there were like beautiful orange poppies painting the hillsides, purple lupins just everywhere, and shocking red buds, just hot pink. And I would draw on the color energy from those plants and draw it into certain organs to heal. So yoke your spirit to whatever makes you happy, right? Just know that I do believe in a higher power and it works for me. I'm also a very metaphysical girl, right? I go about things really differently than a lot of people, but I do believe in that higher power, but I'm okay that you don't. So don't sweat it. Here's my card of healing waters, okay? Right? I honor all paths here. Just don't hurt anybody and don't force it, right? So you can click out if you don't like it, or, just observe what somebody else feels, right? Sometimes I used to talk with my atheist pal a lot. We were very close, and we could talk and talk without trying to convince one another of this is the way, you got to do this, that, the other, right? We just didn't do that to each other. But we still could talk, right? So healing waters, right? Don't sweat it. Okay. So that's the message there. I also have kind of like a holiday message. I know there are a lot of people suffering, going through hard times because of stuff that they did to me, and they're facing lots of dark nights of the soul and even illnesses and time in jail and a lot of really difficult things. And as much harm has been done to me, I feel sorrow for the travails that people are facing. I really do. For those of you that have gotten cancer because of all the stress, again, I'm not a medical professional at all, so you need to seek medical advice. All I can tell you is that when I went through my journey with that, what was very helpful to me was to stop all sugar, all flour, and I ate raw food for 8 straight years, and I focused like 99.9% on just vegetables. Because fruit has a lot of sugar and cancer cells love sugar. You need to do some cleansing if your doctor suggests that. There's books out there like The Great Liver Cleanse and all kinds of stuff. You need to cleanse your body. You need to eat well. You need to connect to your higher power and, also heal spiritually, right? That was a huge component of me getting well. And there was absolutely no reason I should have survived that. So if you're going through hardships because of that, I'm so sorry. And I wish you well. Now, I know some people are going to be facing jail time. So I'm going to give suggestions for things that people can do to lessen their karma, right? So I know that there is a Jezebel person out there who may be facing some hardships because of things that were done. And I don't know anybody's situation, and there's plenty of Jezebels in the world, so you know who you are. I don't even know your name, right? So if you want to lessen some of your karma, what I would suggest is that you provide a list of all of your witchcraft friends with their phone numbers and email addresses and names, etc., to the FBI. I think it'd be great for us to have a database of those kinds of things, so their coven names, etc. Also, if you happen to know anything about the fake reality TV show, I'd really like to know about that. And again, these assignments are all interchangeable, right? So if if I assign something to someone, but it's really somebody else's job, well, the other person who did stuff can pick that up. So, yeah, those are just a couple things that you could help with, right? And also, by the way, the rings you got socked away that you bought with my money, you should turn those in, because I'm going to melt them down and turn them into something more useful. Just saying. Okay. All right. Now there's a divine masculine. And actually, there's a lot of divine masculines in this. So it's really hard to say, who's who, right? There's so many involved in this. You want to lessen some of your karma? Well, first of all, I would suggest you really need to get rid of some of your addictions and the things that are holding you back in your life and binding you, right? And that could be drugs, alcohol, various addictions, a tendency to want to be stealthy, right? And do things that are sneaky and that get you caught up. I would really recommend that because that's really killing you right now, right? You also have some friends in your circle who are not being very true to you. So you need to get stronger in your own self, so that you can be discerning who's a good person to come into your circle and who's not. But most definitely, you got to get rid of this sneaky, stealthy, scamming kind of stuff that's going on, and the energy of wanting to hide things, like the moon, like you see here. Always hidden agendas going on. Now, that being said, if you want to lessen your karma, I would suggest that you cough up to the FBI every single thing you know about the fake reality TV show and the voyeurs who were in my house, plus who paid for it, and how you did everything you did. I would also cough up all of your drug connections. Why? Because I think the universe is in the process of trying to cleanse itself, and the more you can help cleanse the universe, the better off you're going to do. So I want your drug connections, your mob ties, anything you know about the pedophilia that is going around, and also a list of your worldwide witchy friends, to the FBI with data on, where they are, how to contact them, all of that kind of stuff that could help lessen some of your karma, I believe, right? And again, if the witches were, coming across with good intent, I wouldn't have a beef. But so far, what I've seen is death, murder, mayhem, poisoning, slander, job loss, job block. I haven't seen a single good intention. Now, I know I've been told there's some good Santeria witches who put out good stuff in the universe, and I have no problem with that. But so far, I haven't seen that. Okay, there's a Leo. I'm going to say a Leo masculine in particular. I know you got some major time coming. I'm sorry for that, for various things. So, and I also know you're in the process of, throwing people under the bus, which is a good thing. So I want all your mob ties. I want your secret society ties, all to the FBI. And I want to know who hired you to take me out. So work your way all the way up the secret society and rat out all of your friends, right? Because you're facing like life, right? And I'm so sorry for that. But this is a way you can start to whittle some of your time down. I want absolute full exposure on the sex trafficking and pedophile rings. Everything you possibly know. I want the dirty cops, the dirty lawyers, the dirty judges, who gets paid under the table, every single thing you know, right? And this can help burn off karma so that you have, less time. So I also want all the people's names in your particular organization that came after me with a vengeance, and the total plot that you have, not only against me, but what's going on worldwide. So you need to reveal that plot and all that information to the FBI. Okay, that'll help you, I believe. And I'll let the FBI and police figure out how much time you get to whittle off for sharing that information. Now, I know there's a mommy dearest out there who belongs to a secret society and seems to have some issues going on, right? So, again, what I want to know is who initiated your services to take me out? I want you to rat out all of your secret society pals, who they are, where they live, what crimes they've committed in the past, how the society works, all of that. And anything you know about the property manager and what they're up to. And are they connected to other witch covens? I want everything about the witches that I can get my hands on. Why? Because you've made my life hard. And, well, now the energy's turning around. And I want you to make the connection from your group all the way up the chain so that you can help determine what all the connections were to the 2016 election hack. Okay. And also, do you know anything about the dead body in the yard? Okay. These are the kinds of things you can do to make your life better, right? Now, I get the sense, and again, I could be wrong, but there may be a Pisces brother. And of course, I've been hearing things that this person might be related to some kind of trap house. So I always think of murky waters when I think trap house, and Pisces is about water and emotions. So it's like about the dark emotions lurking in the water and the scary things that are popping out of the water and the things that want to swallow you whole. So what you can do to make your life better is reveal all of your trap house connections, those people who are committing horrible crimes against others. I want your mob ties too. And I want anything full exposure on the pedophile and sex trafficking rings. I mean, full exposure, even if it reaches right into the guts of the government. I want the whole deal, right? And again, lawyers involved, judges involved, dates, amounts of money paid off to people, how you've been doing it, names of victims that you have used and how it all went down. And yeah. And also, do you know anything about which person copyrighted my book? Okay. Again, the chores are interchangeable, but I'm trying to figure out ways that you can take time off of your suffering. So these are the things that I've come up with. Okay. Now, there's an uncle involved. And this person to me is pretty hidden because I don't know who this is. So it's like they're hiding behind a veil for me. I only know so much. But how about you read out what wifey did? And there's more than one wifey, but you can figure that out. I want to know what you know about the meth lab connections. Are you in on that? If so, you can write that out to the FBI. And again, I really want to bust the pedophile and sex trafficking rings because this is a form of human suffering that shouldn't exist in our universe. So you want to lighten your load, spill your guts on that. And is there anybody else you want to throw under the bus? We'll go ahead, right? And again, I'm sorry for the difficulties coming your way. Now, there's a property manager who has, performed all kinds of cruelties, both in my house and to me as various forms of torture. I want to know who hired you, what the directions were, how much you were paid. I want to know what you know about the fake reality TV show, of how it was done. I want all of the details about the cameras that were placed in my house, who was watching, how widespread was the, really fun show, right? Because you're going down for a lot of time, my friend, a lot of time. So, did you sell indecent images of my family all over the world? I want everything you know about the indecent voyeurism that happened in my house, right? Whether it was you or the fake reality TV show. I want to know what locals you use to wire my shower with a wireless connection. I need names, right? I need names. So again, these are the things that are going to help you out in the long run. Sounds like you got a lot of people doing a lot of serious drugs at the trap house. I know fake drug charges were brought against me. I don't do drugs, and I'll take a test. So you can rat out your druggy friends, right? Especially the dealers who are ruining people's lives, and all of the dirty cops that you worked with to help enact whatever you did. So that's how you can remove some of the cruelty, right? Is to rat out some of the stuff and who all was attacking and hacking my phone, all of that stuff, right? Now I get a sense that there's an ante involved, and for some reason I just feel like this is a water sign ante, right? Um, Maybe a Pisces, I don't know. But if it is a Pisces or a Scorpio, I want to know, because especially Pisces, who poisoned my husband 3 times, right? Could have killed him. I don't appreciate that. So, what do you know about the poisoning that happened in my house? Did you poison other food in my house? Right? I'm sending away something to the FBI today to be tested, right? So, cough up everything you know about that. And I also want to know everything you know about the pedophile ring and the sex trafficking, right? These are the things that can lighten your load. I also want all your witchy friends and secret society pals' names, and again, what evil crimes they've done, what you're up to, the whole organizational structure. So that's how you can help yourself. I also want a full list of all the gangbangers that were, paid to attack me, and hackers, and everything you know about the property manager. Okay, so that's how you can improve your lot in life. Um, there's at least one, if not more, Scorpios involved. Okay, and it's not always true, but Scorpios can have a lot of addictions. It's possible. If they let those addictions get out of hand, they can get to the point of being very possessed. So I want you to rat out all of your agency pals. If you're in the agency, right? Everything you know about that. I want to know about the trafficking that's happening inside Big G. And I want to know everything about the pedophile ring and the sex trafficking. And I want the perverts out of our government. So that's how you can lighten your load, right? You're going to rat out those friends. I also want to know who paid you to do this, right? Did somebody come and say, I'm going to give you money if you destroy this woman's life? Okay. I also want to know what you know about all the accounts in my name that are in other states, right? And who did it and how and all of that business. Okay, now there's a Libra, 1 or 2 or more. One of you, I think, it might be actually very healing for you if you ratted out what your family did to you, right? Because this is about breaking generational curses. And I have enormous compassion for you because I understand that some very bad things occurred in your life. And yet those people are completely getting away with it. And for your own healing, I would suggest that you report to the FBI how you were harmed when you were younger. That's for you, right? That's not for me. That's for you. That's part of cleaning up the universe and you getting some sort of justice for the crap that was done to you. I also want to know what you know about the dead body in the yard. And what can you tell me about the aunt's involvement? Okay. I want all of your dirty coven contacts, and I want to know the names of the locals in my own town that assisted you and how that whole process worked. These things. If you go to the FBI and put it on an IC3 form, I don't want any of you to call me, just report to the FBI. These things can help lighten your load, right? And also what you know about the sex trafficking and pedophile rings. And I know you're going down for a lot of time. So again, part of your healing for what you went through as a kid, do it for yourself. Report the people that hurt you, right? And maybe that will help you to heal some of the childhood wounds you have. Okay, I sense there is a Capricorn, obviously. Um, and I think you caused like a shitstorm in your own life, is what it sounds like. So I don't know who you are, but if you're involved in the PETA ring or know anything about it, every link, my friend, every single link, name, who did what, I want it all, right? I got thrown into this and I'm mad. And the way for you to burn off karma is to reveal everything you know about this filth in the universe, and that will help you out. Also, do you know anything about the Texas numbnuts and the MK Ultra experiment to scramble my brains and maybe give us cancer? And anything else you know, feel free to pitch in, whatever you know. Now, there are also all kinds of various witches and snitches, right? I don't know all of the witch names. um, and some of you have really, tried to make my life a living hell by trying to copy my essence and steal every possible idea and thought and creative thing I had going, to the point of course, wanting to make me a human sacrifice. So you are going to rat out each other until there's nothing left, right? Because that's how it's going to go down. And the first person to talk wins. Okay. So also, I believe some of you are going to have information about an overseas account, right? And you're going to cough that up to the FBI as well. And again, this is to help you in the long run. Okay. There's at least one, if not more, Geminis, I think, involved in this. And some of you, you've got some big time coming, some big trouble, like death, possibly without a transformation, I believe. I want to know, and the ancestors are on your ass, right? So I want to know all about the MK Ultra. I want to know about the fake reality TV show. I want to know all of the names of the people who paid. I want all of it, right? And I want the organization that got you involved in all of this, all of your connections. Of course, I think that's what some is happening already with some other groups of people. If any of you have mob ties from afar, you need to report that. How you work to cheat the system. The whole thing, plots, plans, all of that. And anything you know about money laundering, right? And I think some of you know a lot about money laundering, Geminis, right? So, and the ancestors are on your ass. So, and to one Gemini, oh, here's my message. Spank me, Pootie. Spank me. Spank me. Ooh. Okay. And again, Divine Feminine strikes again. So I'm trying to be helpful to you, right? Because I am actually, despite the fact that you're still trying to kill me, I'm sorry that a lot of you wrecked your lives trying to take me out. I do have compassion. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to take care of your kids. I don't want to hear the stories. But I am sorry for what's coming. And I'm trying to give you ideas on how you can lighten your load. And once you, say what you have to say, the FBI and police can help to determine how much time you get to shave off. Okay? All right. So that being said, now we're going to get into what it means when Neptune is traveling through the fourth house. So again, let's start with the Neptune card. And yes, it can have to do with sacrifice. It can be how we connect to the divine. It can have a lot to do with illusions and delusions and addictions. But today we're only talking about the high vibe portion of Neptune. And we are going to talk about what it means when it's going through the fourth house, right? And that's the house of family and home and how you were nurtured or brought up behind closed doors. It has everything to do with your lineage, your roots, our homeland, those types of things. So when Neptune is operating on its higher octave in the fourth house, you may feel a desire to turn your home basically into a sanctuary for your soul. So you're going to want to create a living space that's filled with light and love and tranquility, because that's part of your soul contract with yourself. Now, this space will inspire you to do prayer, yoga, meditation, anything that helps you to connect to your higher self. So you might like to decorate with symbols that bring you into closer union. So, for example, I have a sunroom. It's my favorite room in the house. I have lots of plants in that sunroom, various angel statues, Buddha statues, Tibetan helping hand statues, and it's a place of peace for me. And no, I do not have Neptune natally in my chart, but it is transiting there right now. So that's the kind of thing you might want to do with your home with Neptune in the fourth. Now, with the fourth house, the question becomes, how do you spiritualize your life behind closed doors? How do you feel nurtured at home by your family? Is it by reading books, from all over the world that help to bring in wisdom, that help to feed your soul? Do you cook soul food for your clan, and that, joining together with good food, hopefully spicy, helps to, bring in a sense of love and wisdom? Do you do yoga with loved ones? Maybe you just like to sit on the back porch and look out over the beautiful world that we have, so that you can reflect on daily blessings that your home and family brings. So this is another possibility. Neptune in the fourth can also help you to idealize your homeland. Now, this is okay so long as you're not confronted with issues and actions or news that burst your bubble abruptly, because then you might begin to realize that what you thought was true was nothing more than an illusion or various smoke and mirrors. Okay, aged or sick parents needing care could also move in when Neptune hits the fourth house. And home hospice situations could occur. And if so, make sure that your nursing staff is very loving, kind, and angelic as possible. If they can relate to your parents on the same spiritual vibe, that's even better. Now, the goal with this placement is to ensure that the ailing parent gets the loving care that they need to traverse from this realm into the next realm as peacefully as possible. Now, when I had Neptune, I still have Neptune traveling through my fourth house. I also spent about 5 months with my mother-in-law, helping her transition to the next world. I wasn't there when she passed, but I spent time leading up to that point, and it was about, making her comfortable, taking care of her, getting to know her. And I really honored and cherished that time that I had with her, and wish that I could have had that when she was more well. But I certainly got to know her a lot better on a soul level. And one of the things that she and I talked about, because, she obviously knew she was passing, is I said, hey, Sally, when you get to the other side, I want to hear that you got there okay and how things are going. And she said, oh, I will, right? And well, a few months later, I had a reading with a truly psychic friend who said, oh, Sally's here. She has a message for you. And the message was, I'm here. Everything is totally fine. And my memory has been completely healed. And this was something that was really, really bothering her, because she had been a school teacher her whole life. She had placed a lot of, worth on her intellect and ability to verbalize things and have the right words at hand when she needed them. And at 85 or 86, she had lost some of that. And I mean, she was still pretty sharp, but even that little bit bothered her. And so when I got that message, I knew it was a direct message from her, because those were the exact things that she was worried about. Okay. Now, The fourth house also relates to our ancestral roots, all of the people in our family. And you may find yourself going on a soul-filled journey to connect with long lost loved ones in the family tree. And in this process, secrets could come out about your lineage that maybe you didn't expect. You could discover, for example, that you have bloodline swimming in your veins that you never knew about before. So family secrets of all sorts could begin to emerge. Your search could uncover various religious people who were in your past you didn't know about, possibly drug addicts, or even like dream clairvoyance, for example. For all of these kinds of things are covered by the symbology of Neptune. Now, starting a genealogy project wherein you undertake an in-depth study of your family roots is a really, really great possibility when Neptune is in the fourth. I have always wondered, for example, if Alex Haley wrote Roots, his best-selling novel, when Neptune was floating through his fourth house. That would be a perfect symbological example of Neptune in the fourth. All right, now, besides looking at ancestry, leaving home to seek either a higher calling, right, like a little cosmic baby here, or a home setting that you feel would be more nurturing, like being held in a womb by a child, is also possible. You might also be attracted to places by the ocean because these would feel especially soothing with Neptune here. So you might be looking for places like yoga retreats by the sea, or houseboats in a beautiful harbor, for example. But some kind of oceanside setting would be very nice. And with Neptune in the fourth house, just remember, the soul is seeking a happy place that it can call home. That's the main message there. And we're going to stop on that note. Wait to do Neptune in the third, which I really like because Carl Jung is involved. And he was a great symbologist, right? And he had Neptune in the third. So on that note, again, I'm so sorry for those who are suffering. I know I've said a few mean words, right? But we have to all be conscious of what we're putting into the universe. And I'm trying to be more kind and loving despite the things that have happened. And I recognize people are facing some very harsh circumstances in their lives. And I'm trying to provide ways for you to improve your lot. And I am sorry for the suffering that has happened, more than you could ever possibly know. And also, I'm a good person. Quit trying to kill me, okay? Right? You need to rat out your secret society friends. They put you in a terrible position, right? And was it worth your lives to end up where you are, right? So anyhow, there's things that you can do to improve your lot in life and help clean up the universe at the same time. And I'm all about bringing light and love and decency and beauty down to earth. So God bless. Hope everybody's well. To my atheist friends, feeling self-empowered, I got no beef with you. You're on your path that makes you happy. It's all good. Healing waters, my friends. Take care.